Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO. I'm Mac. This is Menu Log Mealtime, and I'm Googling the best snacks to share with your friends. What are the best snacks to share with your friends? That's what I'm going to ask you guys in a second.
Yeah.
But first, get those menu pogs in the chat, pretty please, and you can win yourself $40. $40 to spend on Menu Log, Menu Pog. Get yourself a little cheeky bit of dessert because it is getting towards the later end of the night now. But look, if you haven't had dinner, we're all gamers. Look, we've been gaming all arvo. Maybe you just forgot, and $40 will get you a pretty hefty, I don't know, whole chook and then some.
I've done that before, actually. I've just had a coffee, sat on my computer the entire day, stand up, go outside for dinner, and I'm like, well, I'm so lightheaded. I have not eaten. I am an absolute degen of a human, and I completely regret my lifestyle, and then eat, and I'm like, okay.
But what is
We're
your
back.
favorite snack to share?
Pineapple lumps.
Pineapple lump? Yeah, no, okay.
They go pretty hard.
They do go hard. Have you had them?
No.
Do you know what they are?
The word pineapple repulses me.
It's pineapple flavored, like
nah.
sherbet covered in chocolate, right? Not sherbet. What's
It's like a
you know, like a crunchy. You know, like the honeycombness in the crunchy.
There's different ones. There is
violet
different
crumble?
ones.
Yeah, but pineapple.
There is
Not
different ones.
Honeycomb.
There's like the chewy ones, which is like, I can't even think of the word right now. But like, you did get it all the time in New Zealand.
Nougat.
It's a really yummy New Zealand treat.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna throw that one out. You know, like when you get a really good nougat and you can like chop it up and share it with people.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
had that? I
Ice
wasn't
cream,
about that.
also
until
very
recently.
good shared dish. You get good ice cream.
Pineapple marshmallow, that's what it is. I couldn't think of it for ages, but ding.
Okay, Kitty. What about you?
I want bingsu.
What is?
Yeah, no, that's exactly
that's
what
the-
I was
want
thinking
bingsu.
about.
Ice?
That is exactly what I was thinking
It's
about.
a cream
yeah.
dessert.
That's the ice, right? The shaved
It's a
ice.
shaved ice.
Yeah.
Some mango, some cheese,
Yeah.
some drip.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese
yeah,
with
whatever,
ice?
Man, whatever, just as long as there's bingsu.
Cheese with ice.
Nah, it's not for me, mate.
Not
No, all
Nah,
right,
not for
pineapple
me.
marshmallow.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Cheese and
mate.
sugar.
Right,
Cheese
right,
and sugar. What are we
right.
doing here, guys?
Bit of pineapple with your marshmallow, eh?
sacrilege.
Chop it up, throw it in. Who
Pineapple
knows?
is
It
the
might
devil.
just be a little bit of
Let's switch
fondue.
positions.
Honestly.
That's
Either
the
way,
bingsu enjoying. This is the sherbet enjoying.
So
We're
like,
talking about sharing snacks,
high
not sharing
rank
bloody
couch.
microphones. All you shut up because it's time to talk
High
about the
rank couch.
match, the final match of the night. Let's see who we're going to be looking at first. It seems we're talking about Kanga. Old man in the middle, big old fire toe, still looking to lead the troops. And Hooper, he took a bit of initiative, and he didn't die in the first minute last week, which means he's learning from those mistakes.
Oh.
He is learning. He's a bit of a legend at that. I mean, he's had his moment in the sun. He thought, you know, a minute in, I'm better than this. But look, they're still searching for that first win. They've truly invested in... Yeah, you having a moment there, mate? They've truly invested
makes
in,
it
like,
past 1 minute.
let's just scale. Obviously, we've seen them play the likes of, like, Fioras, Cassidans, anything that allows, really, fighter to try and be the star of the show. But I'd like to see more early aggression. It's kind of not, like, becoming boring, but, like, a little bit repetitive, that the game style is, let's just pray we get to 16 and then...
Skimmy, I'll
flip the
tell you.
game.
I'll tell you what I want from Kanga.
Okay.
Real quick. I want a draft that has a Malphite Orianna, and I don't care about any kind of difficulty of execution.
Oh, you just want one,
I
though.
want spuds. I want the easiest to execute comp. I just want a bunch of meatballs that press R.
Yep.
Because they're not team fighting well, and their draft has been so difficult to execute every single game that it's so hard to play, and they're all rookies except for fighter. Just make it simple.
Spuds and meatballs, also great snacks for sharing with your friends. But let's talk about the
True.
other side of the rift. Ground Zero, we get to see him again. Look, sometimes they're pretty good in those first 10 minutes, but then it's the finishing up that's the issue. But up against Kanga Kitty, how do you think GZ are going to fare? And do you also have any favorites that you're going to scream about right now?
Whoa, Gooby, let's go.
There you go.
I can't
Okay.
do Jason like that. Come
Well,
on.
My eyes are set onto Gooby for this game, right? I remember his spectacular performance onto that Graze where he was just controlling the first 10 minutes of that match. But the unfortunate thing is that I don't think Ground Zero has really found their leeway into that victory, at least close out the game. They will make these micro mistakes where they trickle into these team fights and they just seem more lost when it does enter into the later game stages. But of course, I do need to also highlight that Emphas, I think his champion pool is getting a bit... You are seeing a little bit more of what he offers into the team, like the Ari, like the LeBlanc. We haven't even highlighted that I think Emphas, he was that LeBlanc one trick back in OC solo queue, and he has very high execution for it.
Well, hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that as these majors are becoming a bit more meta again. The burst, the craziness, like you saw last game, could be seeing some of that this game. But questions from me are, where are both these teams going to be looking for that win? Is it going to be the mid lane? Look, Kanga, you've always got Fido there, who is consistently getting those 5 bloody bans against him. When's he going to be able to play what he wants to play?
When he has a 6th champion.
Can't fault that.
That's
anyway,
why he was a coach back in the day.
put a bow on it,
That's
huh?
called drafting. Yeah. No, I mean, either another player has a reason to ban champions away from them, or like Fido just starts playing much more of like your prototypical meta stuff, right?
Okay.
Because right now they're 5 targeted bans for his targeted picks
Well,
that are unique to him.
Guess what? We have him to have
Oh,
a
no.
quick old chin wag.
Big dog.
Fido, are you a 5 champ wonder, or do you have a 6th up your sleeve? That's what the people are all asking.
Just a 5 champ wonder. Yeah,
He's a
it
5
is what
champ
it is.
Andy. Oh no. Well, something else that is in those 5 champions is that Tristan, and I believe we saw in the LCK making its debut in that mid lane. So give us your thoughts, especially coming into the new patch as well.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a good champ. It's always been good, just a consistent mid. The same way that the Lucian meta back in the day, Lucian mid just gets prio, very safe, has some gank setup as well, scaling, has everything. The only thing that's bad is obviously it's AD. But right now all the junglers are, Maokai, Elise, Sejuani, like whatever. All the junglers are AP, so it fits well, I think.
Now, going up against GZ today, you're finally starting to play some of the teams that are towards that lower side of the table. Of course, you had a pretty rough run coming out of the gates, all the top teams. So do you feel like there's a bit less pressure going into these ones? Or knowing that you've got a lot of losses already, is there more pressure to perform to try to get up that leaderboard before the group stage is done?
I wouldn't call it, a lot of losses. I mean, it's just a number. It's all right, but I wouldn't call Mammoth, top of the leaderboard. I think our performance has been really underwhelming. But I have faith in our coaching staff, and I think that they have the right vision of the game, and I trust the process. So hopefully we'll be able to show that today.
Yeah, and I've been talking to Hooper a bit, and he's been quite harsh on himself with his performance lately. So I hope that Shinky and Hooper has figured out the new meta, which we are entering into. No more Yumi. So how is just the growth with these rookies feeling like for you?
Well, I can tell you Hooper is very self-critical. Every time he misses a minion, he will sigh in the scrims. Now, I'll look down and I'll be like, Mr. Cannon happens to everyone, but it was a range creep. Okay, it's 17 gold, mate. Why are you sighing? It's all right. Like it's fine. Anyway, I think they've been getting a bit more synergy and spending more time together, and it's only going to go up from here.
You love to hear it, and let's see if those performances, if all those sighs come together today to get you that fatty dub over GZ. Fido, we're going to let you go, and look, I'm gonna send you all my hopes, all my energy, all my dreams that you can finally get to play something like some Trist mid lane, because I just want to see it again. But good luck.
Thanks, Mac.
Look at him go, huh?
I love his interviews.
He's only a 5 champ, Andy. It's pretty
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
One day.
Imagine being a 5 champion, Andy.
How many champs are there in the game?
Well, for
5?
Kitty, 1 now, right? Because it's Janna. Yumi's gone.
Excuse me, but if
actually
you log
violated.
onto my account, I have a million mastery points on Nami.
Oh,
Do you?
Got her.
I do.
You have a
I've
million
been playing that
mastery on
champion
Nami?
since season 6.
That's crazy, actually.
She's my one trick. Janet is just, I don't know her. Like, who is she? She's so bad
Old
in the meta
news.
right now. Like, I can't believe Peace was even hovering her. I was getting a heart attack. Anyways, we don't know her. We only know Nami.
Why
Was
do
it a good or
you
bad
turn
heart
into a
attack
different
during the
character to
whole
try to, like,
very bad
back
The
Yeah,
yourself
accent
up?
changed, everything moved, eh?
It's just like, please
Sorry,
don't,
Sass Kitty
please
came out.
stop blaming
It's okay.
me. I'm just gonna be a different person for a sec. But look,
Oh.
hey, look at that. But also look at this on your screen. It's side select.
Which
Let's
camera?
see who's on what side, who's doing what, who's bloody picking red. It's GZ who won the coin flip and get the counter pick. So who do you think they're saving that for?
I think Kanga really like counter pick. And this is one of those things where like you could take it for like Emphas, maybe he's got a LeBlanc angle or something like that, right? But at the same time, I'm not mad at just taking it away from Kanga, because like they're an odd team where like you heard it in the interview, like they've got specific champions that were playing bottom, they need to readapt. That's the same thing that you could say towards their top laner, who has a lot of specific champions that he needs to adapt towards. And that's kind of what's interesting about this matchup, Matt, because it's the battle of like the rookies who are solo queue champion players learning how to play competitive, which is something that takes a fair chunk of time.
Yeah, it's a learning curve, and so is losing those Twitch points in games like the last game. So games like this are where you're going to be able to use them on the Dare fan vote to try to get your Twitch points back. So get them in up there somewhere, press the button, press it again and again and again, and you've put 6 points on a team. So hopefully that's worked for you. What's so funny, Skimmy, huh?
I just love your words, mate. I just love you being a host.
You could have just stopped at I love you.
I love you.
Prediction time. Let's see where we're leaning. I feel like this is going to be another one that could be split down the middle. And so far, so good. Skimmy changing it up with the Kanga pick. Why are you going for Kanga?
Look, I'm just a big believer that they're going to turn that ship around. You know, it can only be up from here. You've battled some pretty harsh teams. I believe in Fido. Man pops off. I want to see Blue just absolutely 1v9 on some carry pick, much like we saw in that last game. And I think, yeah, as you heard from Fido, like Hooper and Shinky can hold themselves to a higher standard. It's going to click. It has to.
What was on the second page? Because I was looking at you.
You've got Max in your court.
Just me and Max.
And I'm also Ground Zero with you guys.
Okay, sweet. And Dare fan voters. You guys out there, get them in. But look, I feel like, I still kind of feel like Kanga, to me, are probably the favorites. Not by a lot, but still the favorites. But I've gone with GZ just because I think it's all going to click. You've seen that early game go really, really well against some of the better teams. It's just the follow-up, and I feel like they're working on that, and I'm hoping today's the day it all sort of works out.
Yeah, we did see an amazing early game out of GZ from week 2, and I think it's much easier to close out a game when you're ahead early than it is to adapt from a losing game state into a win later on into the team fights, because it's just way easier to execute, and I think you need so much expertise to turn the game around 180 as Kanga. So it has to be that bot lane once again.
It has to be that bot lane. Let's see if they're going to get what they bloody want, because it's time for Champ Select. Over to you.
Let's go. That was a really bad. That's a really bad transition. I tried, Mac. I'm so sorry. Well, we just had bangers after bangers. We've had a match of the week into basically a runner-up match of the week, and this could also be another match of the week to really close out the night.
Well, this is a battle of two teams who are currently about 1 and 4 on the standings, as Mac's going to annihilate a Dare behind us. But neither team actually has their win yet, right? So, like, while the scoreboard says a win, we're yet to actually see that. And one of these teams has to win right now. And a big question to be asked is a very obvious first pick here. Kitty brought this up. I agree with her completely. Varus is now probably best in slot first pick.
Yes.
But that's after a lot of other carries are being banned. But we're seeing the Caitlyn, we're seeing the Varus pretty much every single game now.
Yeah, pretty inevitable, right?
Hey, you know what that means? Guess who didn't get 5 bans on him?
Literally my point is the fact that Fido said, okay, we're targeting him. Okay, he's targeting us. Everyone's targeting me. We're going to give Emphis the treatment as well. 3 mages removed from the mid lane. Let's see what you got up your sleeve now, Emphis.
Oh, and Kate Karma would be an interesting one because it kind of denies the Varus Karma lane, where Caitlyn's fine with Karma for sure, but also has the Lux Avenue. You know, there are a couple of other lanes available for that Caitlyn. You can also, if you really wanted to, flex the Caitlyn to support, right, and have another AD carry pick. So,
sure.
Now the the Karma's been taken away. The question is, does Kanga go like Varus Lulu? Is it going to be an on-hit Varus? Because Varus Lulu means nothing if it's a lethality Varus.
Ooh.
And so I like this actually a lot more.
Well, I'm wondering, because obviously the Karma is still a hover. I mean, still a flex. We have seen Emphis. That was his debut game, right, as a Karma in the mid lane. Played the Radiant Virtue build as well. Went for ultimate support to assist his team. That would put more emphasis on, oh, excuse the pun, onto Gooby to try and be the carry. To make Gooby be the star of the show. But Kanga haven't wasted any time in their response, right? Straight away, Nautilus, Varus, that's engaged. That's kill threat very early on.
Yeah.
And we're going to say Azir, that's always going to be our bread and butter scaling condition.
And Heimerdinger is going to be the response here, right? So Bulldog, someone who's not going to shy away from these new champions, these new picks. He would have been watching Worlds thinking, that's my jam right there. And the dog pulls that one out. Now he is dealing with the Nautilus Varus, so still high kill threat. If they pick a jungler for Mayfan that also has high kill threat, it's really hard to play the Heimerdinger, to be sure. It's very positional then. But so is the Caitlyn, so is the Karma, right? Even if it's going to be a Karma mid lane now that's pretty much confirmed, it's going to be a tankier build. But this also lends into the 4-5 bans of maybe you just get rid of the Graves now, right? Or like something like a Kindred that works really well with the Karma. But I don't like their comp if they're picking a Graves or a Kindred in jungle for ground 0, because I think that makes their composition way too complicated. And it's kind of a weird situation where they have the Karma mid, but they might want some kind of engage like a Wukong.
I was just going to
or
say,
a Xin.
You need a Wukong, a Xin, a Vi, a Jarvan, some form of engage to try and lock down these key targets, right? To then, you know, there's a trap to follow the CC and so on, there's a bomb, all the rest of it. So
Heimer follows up really well with the concussive grenade for sure.
what direction do they go? Ground 0, a banner with the Furor, who once again targeting blue, who is a phenomenal Furor by all accounts. We've seen it in action as well. The Elise 2 for the early aggression. Yeah, makes sense, right? Jax as well as the Wukong denied away, so just making Gooby's life a little bit harder to flourish with a Karma in the mid lane.
And Tron has been defaulting to things like the Gragas here and there, you know, to a couple of those tank champions. Now this is odd, right? If it's going to be the Maokai jungle, just feel, like just comp feel. But Maokai going to be really good with the overall composition, right? So now it's a Karma with a Maokai. I would love to see Tron play a carry, because that kind of rounds out their top side to have real threat if they go for those 3v3s. It just gives them a little bit more flavor behind their composition, and something that does physical damage would be really nice to have. So it's one of those situations where you're like, maybe, depending on the top matchup, it's a Tron Darius type of angle, you know? Cassante obviously still up. But, like, let me say Darius before we move on.
I'd love to see some Darius action. But we'll have to wait and see what they do decide to ultimately settle on. It's going to be Yone as the final pick here for Kanga.
Yeah, lock in Darius.
Love that.
What's he going to do?
Darius Bush Cheese, you just wait there and
Start
say,
Ghost level 1.
You can't play the game.
W Ghost, just say, I dare you to last hit a minion. Come on, Tron. Come on, Tron.
Send it, mate. Commit a sin.
Ooh, okay, that'll do.
Ooh,
Bit of
Olaf.
aggression, yeah, a bit of a level 1 biff.
A little bit cheeky.
Olaf a strong pick. Actually, I like that a lot. Olaf, again, as a champion, goes really well with Karma, goes really well with Lulu when they were both mid lane champions or roaming supports. So that actually is quite valuable for them.
Good CC immunity as well, right? Given the amount that Kanga have.
Yeah.
It feels very reminiscent of the game that Chippy's played it for PGG.
Yeah, he said, you know, tank jungler makes it very easy to play for just your lane. It's a Nautilus as well as a Varus bot lane, so you can start to run them down. We'll let the dust settle on the champion trades, and that should be where they lie now. And overall, Ground 0, they've given themselves a pick that felt kind of necessary to facilitate the earlier picks in their composition. Kanga have gone for exactly what we were hoping from them, to put it simply, right? Through their draft, they've made it easier to execute. Nautilus hooks, Nautilus ult, Varus ultimate, Sejuani ultimate.
Absolutely.
They've got to engage absolutely everywhere. Fido playing a scaling carry in mid lane, but also a scaling carry that has priority and can push the wave really nicely. I feel like if ever there was a draft that Kanga should be comfortable with trying to execute and find a win with, it should be this draft.
I think all is good in the world again. Things are settling back the way they have been from the glimpses of majesty we've seen from some of these players in their career, even in the short time that LCO has been around. Gooby's just had enough.
See, mate.
He says, I'm playing Maokai, that's cringe. Just walks away. But those are your confirmed comps, right? So it'd be interesting to see what build it is from Memphis. You'd imagine it is still to be that Radiant Virtue support style, right? Where you're just pumping out heals and a bloody cooldown reduction. How do they navigate that right into somebody like Fido that's going to be wanting to constantly shove and try to be a menace to assist either top or bot?
Yeah, it does feel like we're just going to have two pushing mid laners, neither one really going too crazy on trying to kill the other one. Just ranged ability to wave clear naturally starts to, you know, trend towards that path. Gooby and Mayfun both having those gank junglers will be looking towards those side lanes, so that's what it's going to come down to in my mind, right? It's bot lane, it's top lane. It's how do these lanes that want to fight each other clash? Who comes out on top? And can the Nautilus specifically find success against the Heimerdinger, who is relentlessly annoying and chips away at your health? You make one mistake, you're done in that lane. That's where a lot of the danger really is.
Certainly will be a fair bit of skill expression in that one as to the battle of hard engage versus poke. You've got to pick those moments to strike and to ultimately shine for success, which is really the name of the game in this one. This is what both teams are hunting for. They need success. They crave it. They've yet to get an official win, having only claimed their victories in the standings from those forfeits. A big ask, having struggled against some of the other teams. see how evenly they are against one another.
Now, Bulldog not actually feeling confident enough to push up to the third bush at the start. He's going to have 2 turrets in the second bush, so if Shinky were to blind hook, he would find himself a honeycomb, but it is going to actually hit the wave at level 1. So what Bulldog's done here is intentionally place turrets that will be able to hit some of the minions. I can't believe that missed. Not all of them. So it guarantees push and lets him, you know, be a little bit more aggressive. When teams know that level 2 or even the first wave can't be actively contested, they start to push back. Makes Nautilus a bit more hesitant perhaps to throw those abilities out and lets Bulldog staunch just a little bit more. We'll check back in with bottom lane as it plays out, but so far Dante and Bulldog pretty happy with the state of the lane, the state of the game down here in that 2v2. Mid should just farm pretty evenly, all things considered. Nothing to speak towards just yet. Top actually is, of the lanes, the one that I feel like would be most volatile by nature in how junglers get involved. Blue just hard pushing, trying to keep him busy. You ever make a mistake against an Olaf, you die. Have you lost comms? You have lost comms? Alright, it's just me. Let's go. So top lane is expected to just be trading up until perhaps a mistake's there or a jungler comes nearby. Speaking of those junglers, they have pathed opposite sides of the map, red side respectively, clearing towards their blues. We've seen Sejuani's invade today, but not going to happen in this one. Does mean that only one team is pathing towards that volatile bot side, however, as the game has been paused. And let me tell you, if that headset doesn't start working soon and I'm sitting here in a pause, I will cry.
Can you hear me?
Tears. Yes.
Oh, it's working. Majestic. Woo! Beautiful. I don't know what's happened there. I leaned over to spin my piece and the headset's just stopped working. So you do get that on the big drops.
Ah, you're Kitty now.
I've become Kitty. Yes. So, well, we'll fix that whilst these players fix their situation. Just a little bit of triage across the board. Happens.
Does happen, does happen. Of course, I won't say anything's happened so far in the game, Skimmy. It has just been very casual farming from both of these teams. So nothing to report on. So far, so good, though, for both of them, right? You're looking at both of these squads and thinking there's rookies, there's nerves. Those nerves have started to finally go away. And it feels like there's a natural break point, like the honeymoon period of competitive League of Legends. Usually about around week 3, that's gone. As Mayfun looking top 4 already. Tron doing circles, though.
He's certainly doing doughies on the Rift, isn't he? He's not keen about this whatsoever. Going to take the long path back, supposedly, but just maybe a cheeky axe to the head to try and deter Mayfun from getting too eager about this one. He's actually saying, you know what, I'll take this trade.
But Gooby's sapling the bush for.
Gonna get stunned. Gooby's just PvEing. Tron's like, oh, it's 1v2, bro. What are we doing here? In with the dash, and in with the kill. There's first blood, and really punishes them with a double kill.
Yeah, big ups to Tron. Just straight up gets it done almost by himself. Flash used by Gooby. Not a lot of killer instinct from that Maokai, but hey, Tron picks his Olaf, finds his angle. Mayfun tries to keep him away from the wave, away from the turret, but they don't have vision in the tri-bush. And just like that, a 2-0 Olaf is going to come back to lane, Skimmy, with a pickaxe.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a warning shot of him just chucking out an axe saying, oh, get out of my lane. But no, he was geared up and ready to go.
By the way, look at Blue. That's a sad man waiting for a wave to come to him.
Yeah.
He's going to be an opportunistic farmer for the present moment, given that it is a dagger to an entire pickaxe.
Yeah, double buff, just cheeky.
Yeah.
Just sneak that one in there as well.
Makes playing against Olaf a nightmare because you can throw axes like they're nothing. Just constantly off cooldown, just throw a Q at your head. That's huge. We love that from Tron. Big Tron up there, mate. What can't he do?
He's a man of many jobs, I heard.
Absolutely.
Many titles, many positions. Ultimately, 2-0 though. Phenomenal start here, 5 minutes in. A lot was expended, obviously, to make that play happen. The only thing surviving them on the top side really will be Blue's flash. So expect to see things either simmer down or just continue to get zoned away.
There was a time where whenever you versed an Olaf at level 1, you would just have to run away from him because it's axe into axe into axe, and that was actually the whole trade pattern. A little bit different now as well with the changes to the W. Quite nice having that shield for lane trades, actually. And the passive, of course, just giving the lifesteal by default does make Olaf quite a nice laner when he has a free lane, when he has a lane that he can just hit. Speaking of just hitting things, round 0 with Pryo will not hesitate.
On vision, not a care in the world, right? Deploy those turrets, make life very easy to take this one down in little to no time whatsoever. So Drake seemingly going the way here for ground zero for what is already a great start for them in this game. Top lane, as you saw just briefly there, another big wave crashing in. It's now big ask for Mayfan to see what he can accomplish.
Looking at some popcorn chicken for the moment. Probably is going to be the level 6 breakpoint where he finds his next big play on the map, especially missing that summoner spell. Your entry into these fights is a little bit harder. Emphas, of course, going to be told by Gooby's spider sense that something's a little bit up there. Just walk straight past the chicken. Doesn't matter. Clear themselves now in the end, don't they?
Certainly do.
And they're gone.
They just fall down like it's nothing.
I miss counter jungling.
Do you have a particular preference as to one of the jungle iterations, or it's just going far too deep into memory lane?
To one of the iterations? Oh, jeez. I would say, and this is extreme bias, not because it's the best, but the best jungle time was when Jarvan would go Philosopher's Stone, Heart of Gold, and just gank perma.
I was going way back.
Yeah.
GPM runes
Gold
and all the rest.
generation junglers.
Yep.
Zero resource junglers. Now that was a time. Now, I definitely wouldn't want to be a support back then. That was arduous.
Just passively winning.
Well, their item builds as supports back then was like a Philo Stone and then wards. You'd never finish an item.
Yeah.
Because this is way before supports were worth anything. And it wasn't a role that Riot were actively supporting yet, right? Because it was just existing.
I'll join you on that bandwagon then, because that's back when Graves used to be an AD carry. One of my favorite times.
One.
I really enjoyed that. It needs
That
to
went
happen.
hard.
Those were the days.
Riot Graves had like the little pop sound
Yep.
whenever you auto attack. That was the best.
You get into the weave of it just working so well, right? You know when you have those like slight differences between your different AD carries and your muscle memory?
Graves was goated.
Graves was certainly right up
Actually
there.
goated. Can't believe they reworked him.
Still upset with them.
Fact.
So, 8 minutes in. 1k goldly for Ground Zero. Great start. Dragon, double kill. That's all you need.
Bulldog playing with fire. Doesn't care. Sees Mayfun, gets confirmation. Just trading across map, having a good time, right? Tron feeling so confident in his 1v1, sitting so pretty up here. He's able to afford enough control that Gooby can just take these objectives uncontested. Mayfun is level 6,
Yeah.
right? So has got a bit more of an opportunity to make some plays. Azir is one of the best lanes to gank for when you have that ultimate ready, because he just sweeps them into your waiting arms, and then you have a CC combo to lock them down with. But keep in mind, a fairly tanky Karma build. Not always as simple as just ult and dead. But speaking of ult and dead, it might be up here.
That certainly could be.
Here it comes.
Blue fate may be sealed. There's the ult, use it. Jumps out of the Maokai, so that's nice. There's the slingshot, but what damage can he accomplish? The turret right now focusing onto Tron, but it's fully ramped up onto Gooby. Slingshot's back in, he wants the double kill this time. Mayfun's here. Oh, just misses that dash. Mayfun flashing, Mayfun stunning. And a kill that is, well, not really secured, but ultimately with a bit of style points attached to it.
Blue's insane. That was insane from Blue. He used the ultimate, it misses the Olaf, and it covers the maximum distance to get out of the Maokai ult.
Yeah.
And it clears the wave. You couldn't have done more in that situation. He could not have played that better in that situation. In fact, Tron probably wanted to tank it. But here we are. He gets the kills, he has the reinforcements, Mayfun's nearby, and Blue put on an absolute clinic. Bottom.
We're certainly on though from top to bot. Dante now in trouble, flash onto his head. Oh, and there's the summoner heal burn at the same time as well. Dante lucky to be alive here.
Was definitely in flash range for Shinky there, and being a Hex Flash user, I don't think the Nautilus minds. Not honestly too sure on what Dante was hoping to achieve other than, you know, scouting out some vision. When all said and done, he just discovered that Hooper and Shinky are not afraid to engage on him. We'll watch this again, because just pay close attention to Blue's decision-making. Actively and intentionally, to be clear, dodges the Olaf with that ultimate, clears the entire wave, gets aggro onto Gooby, and then once the reinforcements come through, the flash was a little bit overkill, and he could have flashed a bit closer to keep damage application here, but didn't want to risk dying. Mayfun has the W back up anyway, and then Max ranges the Q to lock him down. Picture perfect, puts Ground Zero on a poster.
Absolutely does. As clean as you like it. That's what you want to see, and that's certainly stabilized this game back to a level playing field. As you can see, Shinky there being a phenomenal support player, holding the wave there for Fido. Now it's anybody's game back in the top lane.
Yeah, which exactly as you just highlighted is an equalizer, because Tron's still big. Has got that plated steel caps, is still going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially when it comes to those team fights. But just giving a little bit extra back into the pockets of Kanga is going to be really important. Hex Flash is confirmed. Hook.
Testia Meadow. Oh, he's took the big turret. That's a tragedy, but well played there by Bulldog. Ult goes out. Ult responded. Both junglers looking to try and flex their ability. And Shinky, unfortunately for him, cops a shallow death.
Bulldog just puts down the biggest note button you've ever seen. Shinky with the predictable hook timing because he had to walk past minions. Just allows a bit of creative freedom there from Bulldog, who puts down the turret.
And the thing I like the most about that is there's no flashes left in that bot lane apart from Bulldog, but he's so confident in his ability that he doesn't waste the summoning snap. You have to do this. It's going to come out at this exact moment, and that's done enough to guarantee them get the second Drake.
Yeah, the crazy thing as well is there was a couple of other turrets around in the area, so Bulldog said, is this the turret you're looking for? And all the lasers come flying out after the abilities hit. Make sure that it's basically a guaranteed kill onto Shinky. And classic Nautilus tech, right? If your hooks aren't hitting, you're actually squishy. Up until you have those items completed. He found that one out the hard way. Top fighting.
Oh, look at that. A trade that Olaf always loves to engage upon.
Really favorable for Tron. He also has teleport in pocket. That forces Blue's teleport himself if he wants to defend this one. Now keep in mind that Mayfun is nearby, so if he teleports, it could be a case of engage, but Tron has ult and Ghost. So it's really unlikely you kill him, and this is one of the reasons that Olaf pick is actually insane value.
And that it is. The fifth and final pick Flex has done wonders once again. A really good draft for it to be utilized in, and yeah, the punishment just cannot be matched, right? Even if Mayfun's in the area to complement a TPing returning Yone. Turn our attention to bot lane. Herald summon. Few plates achieved. Oh, into the waiting arms of Dante there.
Yeah, good little Herald, just a bit of extra money. Now, we are also at a point in this bottom lane where the cheaper item spikes of the lethality items is favorable for Kanga, right? Hooper's got his Ghost Blade done, so can do some pretty serious damage down here if they find their avenue, but Gooby's the one who's been hovering this bottom side. Mayfun's been playing towards blue, trying to keep the Yone just a little bit safer. But as we take stock of the map right now, Mayfun's pathing towards bottom. Or at least he's on the bottom side of the rift. Bot Scuttle to look towards as well, but a lot of vision favoring Ground Zero near that bot side river. A really defensive control ward actually from Ground Zero in their own jungle. Trying to deny Mayfun, I guess, any kind of entry. But they're constantly pushed, so that ward doesn't really do much unless they're going to get dove from a Phyto Mayfun gang.
And that seems to be the case, right, is mid lane, the plate's completely intact for the most part. You can see Phyto's just picked one up there, but they've been playing that big game of ping pong, whereas it is for Ground Zero. They are smashing it in top and bottom, really flourishing from the fact that the Olaf and Caitlyn are finding their moments to strike. Certainly concerned about a flanking angle, and here's one right now. Gooby in trouble, full combo, ult, and the passive right in his head. Scoop right back, where are you going? You're dead. And Emphis, I mean, he can give you a shield, but that's just not enough.
Yeah, when all said and done, Gooby is the carry of the Karma Maokai duo. And he's the one that gets preyed upon. Fido takes some damage, but he's going to shield himself by using that EQ. Make sure that he doesn't dash straight into melee range of them. Wave just going to be cleared up, and it seems like the bot lane of both teams are just going to consider staying mid for a moment. As
bot
Hooper
lane's just been
resets
abandoned,
to mid.
hasn't it?
Yeah. Bot is cancelled.
Who cares about it anymore?
We
Let the minions fight it out.
Mid laners now. Epic battle, of course, between those minions in bottom lane.
Absolutely.
It does seem like, from a glance at the minimap, that they are actually just an even lane. No one pushed it, crashed it, and reset. They both just came mid after they've reset in base.
Starting the game fresh.
The question is, okay, Fido is going to go there. He has the teleport. Emphis doesn't have teleport, so he's grouped with the team.
Yeah.
Fido going to teleport.
He was considering it, but realized this, I don't have time to walk. I have to commit that TP. 15 minutes in, there's the fate sealed. In they jump, looking for the steal on the second Herald, claimed by Mayfun. He's taking that one right underneath their noses, but what do they get in retaliation? Well, that's Tron on an absolute burner. 2 kills again, now
He's
4-1. He's got the ghost. He doesn't have a flash, and he would not entertain the idea of blast coding that far behind enemy lines.
I think he might, but he doesn't want to this time. They'll get the fight they're after, Ground Zero. I mean, you try and entertain that fight. You start that by Blue ulting in. It does, in the end, seal their own fate that they were just going for the steal. Perhaps tries to find an angle, perhaps tries to see something here. The reinforcements come through, but at the end of the day, they don't find it. The flash hook misses completely as well. Big miss from Shinky, and he's just dead to rights for that decision, right? If you're going to make the play, you can't miss. And quite simply, Hooper now has to flash for their sins. Fido has teleported in. Quick update on that bot lane skirmish as well. Red minions are stronger. No one's been there yet, but those red minions going off.
I remember there was a time, I forget the exact difference, but it was like a 1 pixel or like a slight range difference between the minions, and
I think
one
red
side was favored.
does 1 more damage or something.
Yeah, it was
it's
something
just
really
so the game will
obscure.
end no matter what. Something like that. I think it's red side does 1 more. Forget.
You just watch the minion waves play themselves out naturally and just
One side always wins.
always won.
Yes.
Always found that quite interesting. Here we go, third dragon of the game then. Ground Zero already having accrued 2. Are keen to certainly make the mark on this one.
We put some damage. Hooper doesn't want to threaten the ultimate there. He actually just throws down a hail of blades to let him know that he's here. So they're focused on clearing the wave instead. Skirmish in the river. Tron group with the team. Blue group with the team. We are 5v5ing as these teams meet.
Every flash
No
is there.
flanks. It is front to back, Skimmy.
It really will be. I mean, there's no flash for Hooper. Everybody else will have that up and available for this fight if they decide to really go all out for it.
Turret line gets cleared. Bulldog's going to have to put another one down. Flashes there for the carries for most of Ground Zero. I feel like they're perfectly content with this fight taking place. It's a steal attempt, but it doesn't go their way.
Blue's not interested at all. Went for the golems instead. Just jumped across the wall. Still not interested as the rest of his team decide to shove in mid-wave. That is going to be the trade. You get closer to the ultimate power spike, an infernal soul of all things. And now they'll open up the mid lane. First turret of the game.
Yeah, refreshing to not have a Cloud Soul. Dante just by a hair's breadth singes the hairs on him. But the hook misses. He's going to place a trap in melee range as well. Dante playing with fire like it's food. Really being humbled for that decision. He's
I was
gonna go
concerned
back
for
to
a
base.
second,
Yeah.
thinking the chain of corruptions go out. You got your jungler in the area. I mean, what's to stop them doing that?
What's to stop you from throwing the chains to get the cleanse as well? That's the thing. Like there was angles there. LPL AD carry is ulting you there.
Every time.
You've missed position. You deserve to be ulted.
Not to be the case on this occasion, however. As we check in with the total gold, as mythic items start to come along. Tron really has been the star of the show in this one. Flexes the last pick. Olaf comes in with a massive gold lead, about to hit 8,000 for 1k lead over the Scaling Azir for his opponent. You can see Blue there lagging behind despite finding a shutdown into it. He's still taking a little bit of time to try and answer back.
The one thing I will say is, of course, Fido being second in that gold value is invaluable for Kanga. They do rely on their mid laner as a consistent point to try and carry the team. He's got that scaling mage. He is well and truly scaling into this game. 100 items done. Did go for the Oblivion Orb for a bit of extra heal cut, as has Emphas on that Karma. Going to be important to cut the healing of Tron, or he will simply exist permanently. Already an issue with a fully stacked Ravenous Hydra and 4-1 scoreline.
If the game keeps up at this pace, I can fully see the Quadra, the Penta starting to take place around a massive Baron fight or a potential Soul Point.
Really is just trying to play for free structures, right? It seems like Ground Zero aren't willing to contest this side lane. Blue's pushed in bottom. At the same time as Kanga pushing in mid, they're just resetting. I feel like every time we look at Dante, he's either missing health or mana and resetting. Bulldog hasn't really been moving with Gooby yet. Kanga moving more as a team so far. I think you can say that much for certain.
Just affording them a lot of room to move around the map and yeah, pick up these free structures. That's their second one now, opening up all the outers. Bot lane is very low to falling down as well if they can find themselves a moment. Very hard if the lane assignments are Blue and Tron.
Ground Zero just going to plant themselves in mid. Fido actually presents himself as an option. And Gooby does not go for the flash W. Doesn't want to get pushed under turret. Didn't know where the rest of Kanga were. They were nearby. but the angle pervades them. It's definitely Ground Zero saying our strategy in this game is all mid, 5 stacks for these fights. I would like to see more from Tron playing sides and teleporting right now because he is so strong. I don't think there's any excuse to be losing 2 turrets in both top and bottom for no reason.
Sure.
Especially if he is stronger in the 1v1. Why is this happening? And it's not like Kanga are going to hit the Baron for free with a lethality Varus. No attack speed on that Azir just yet.
Does feel like they're giving Kanga a welcome opportunity back into this game, which obviously they're not going to decline by taking up. But the lead, despite how strong the Olaf is, I mean, they're behind in gold now overall.
Yeah. They're starting to just piece by piece fall a little bit further behind, every little stone falling in place for the Kanga squad. Happy to farm it up, but Tron has found himself bottom now. He's going to see how he goes against Blue. And that is, I will throw an axe and Blue will say, no, you're right. That, I don't need this in my life.
Respect, respect.
Understood, understood. It's your wave, sir. Do you want another wave? Do you want to hit the turret? Okay. You can have it.
Once you've gone, I can siege again.
It's the Drake, though, right? There's the soul up. So I'm not sure the Ground Zero want to do anything crazy while they're waiting for this soul point. Infernal Soul's so big for them. They have just given, you know, that little bit extra gold into the pockets of Kanga. That makes you wonder, you know, how will they play the team fights? Have we seen Ground Zero really get to an even game state team fight with 2 items on their carries? What does that look like for them? Tron doesn't have a shutdown anymore, even though he's 4-1. He spent so much time grouping. Fido's the only one actively farming, and so is Dante.
Speaking of those farming items, double healing cut now acquired. You got it on Blue's Yone as well as Fido's Zia.
Nakayol.
Should be easy to apply across multiple members. Shinky jumps and he just takes a dive, but that's not what you want. Mayfan's in trouble. In jumps Blue! Locking in place everybody. He's going to try and get as much value as possible before he jumps right back. Instantly, Gooby finds his target. Blue still surviving. A fadeaway axe misses. Gooby with the Bramble Smash can't get it, but ultimately dies to the burn of that demonic embrace. Bulldog also in a spot above there.
Gets a shield there. Perhaps there was a bit of burn from the Leandris that might have killed Bulldog, but he will survive. Hooper and Fido start to move their way towards what is a soul point that is basically secured, is confirmed now. And they just have to back away. What a crazy skirmish. Shinky once again goes for this play, instantly dies. He's mistiming his engages here. Varus ultimate comes out onto Tron while he's ulted as well. And it feels like when it comes to the execution, what's the point of hooking an Olaf when he's just going to press R and run you down? And then Hooper says, have another one. He's CC immune, guys. We all see it. It's coming up on the screen. It just creates enough space, right? Tron literally is tanky, walks in front of them. It means that Blue is basically just there with Mayfan, trying to 2v5 the rest of the fight out. Mount Kaiult zones the rest of them anyway. Tragically, of course, we are into a pause. So a quick stock take, Skimmy. Big Infernal Soul.
Big Infernal Soul, absolutely. And given how strong they are already, this is definitely all you could ask for, right? If you've lost your bounty, if you are fully invested in that full 5v5, if macro or split push pressure is going to the wayside, then you want all those combat stats, right? To entertain the idea that Kanga will be hungry to try and find their retaliation, to try and find moments just like that, but the target selection just needs to be good enough. I mean, me, more than anything, is that Fido's ult never got a chance to be used.
I mean, yeah, exactly, right? Hooper and Fido were positioned safely, right? The one thing that we will give them is that their positioning was really good for dealing DPS. It's just that they couldn't get through Tron's health bar while he was killing their own tanks.
Yeah.
So that can inevitably start to happen. At a certain item breakpoint, Fido will kill the closest target with 0 issue, and the Olaf tends to have a HP stacked build, not a resistance stacked build, so Azir does get his way in that respect. Kanga have got a lot to look forward to. The poke from Hooper can be relentless as well. Ground Zero put themselves into a choke point. Nice little sapling though. Keeps him humble. And it's a support Dante game, isn't it? The bot lane of Ground Zero, collectively 0-1-11. Just 2 supports and a Karma mid.
All the supports.
It's the Tron.
It's the Tron effect.
It's the Tron.
Hey, here's a trap target, here's a stun target. Please take them down. Oh, it goes out, and Fido's the target. That's going to force him back to base. But the ARAM continues.
Varus ultimate used there as well. Big bit of damage finds Bulldog, but it's traded back onto Hooper. He can sit back and still throw arrows out with no real concern as his long range. They're trying to get Blue to get that split pushing off. See if he can break some structures, but that is a very unsafe side of the map if he continues to push, so has to back away. Kanga trying to pull them apart, see if they can get some mistakes, find some cracks in the armor. Dwindle that health bar down. The last time this happened, they got the teleport out of Fido. They got some health off Hooper. They still made Kanga work hard for it. And it's an Infernal Soul, right? Every Maokai sapling, every Karma Q, even though she's a tank, those now are more impactful every single time. And there's no sustain on Kanga's squad for anyone other than Blue. Blue just got note buttoned incredibly hard.
Yeah, he's certainly got his work cut out for him in this game.
Mayfun has to face check.
I
Finds
certainly
them all.
look right back at Fido again and say, what can you do? You got a flash, a stopwatch, and a wealth of damage. But we're all invested in the mid lane, and oh my god, he's just dead. Unfortunately for him, no matter how strong you can be, just says, I'm not burning those cooldowns.
I am a little bit shocked that the Maokai ultimate, the Twisted Advance, managed to find Fido and Hooper. Hooper has the cleanse, so he stands in front and tries to cleanse it out, but a second, just a stray branch. Fido just cops a stray. Blue gonna have a look, confirms that it is gone. And Ground Zero get the pick that they need. Well done from them again.
Certainly was. A fraction too easy for them to try and take that one, and let's open up the floodgates for them to get another major buff in this game. The gold lead is still only 2k, but let's watch it back once again.
Kanga pressured to face check. Mayfun will sweep as he walks in, finds him, or dashes away. Gooby will press Twisted Advance. He'll ult now. Hooper should tank this, and Fido should just stand with him. I feel like Fido just clicked towards them instead of continuing to run with Hooper. That's a critical error. Cost them a Baron. Okay.
Absolutely it did. And for sure, a little bit of frustration as once again buys himself a little bit of mitigation with the shuffle in mid. But now you have to weather so much harass if it's not them being a poke threat, it's these minions as well.
Yeah.
In jumps Mayfun, finds the target, there's the stun onto Bulldog. You're burning a support, it's not who you want. Look at the shielding! So tanky, the Radiant Virtue hitting up an absolute flank. Blue jumps in, but gonna burn on down. Dante finds his first kill of the game. Now into action goes the Olaf. There's the axe, there's the chop, and he is just a lumberjack. He can do no wrong. It's not gonna be a pentakill, but that is a very decisive ace.
Big Tronny with the triple though, locks him down. Olaf very clutch in this game. Finds the team fights 9, 1, and 4. The support entire team and the Tron will break the base, inhibitor falls, and most likely the game afterwards. Ground Zero hunting their first real win of the LCO, and they've got it.
That they certainly have. It was a game to understand really where did these power rankings stay, and well, for Ground Zero, they've answered that question very, very easily. We're the better team.
Nice little game from them. You can see actually a sigh of relief there from Tron. Perhaps a nervous laugh from them, but they finally get that win. Credit to him. Top lane, very early. Just essentially gets the 1v2. Gooby caught between, do I help? Are they coming to me? What am I?
He was chilling in the tri-bush. Here's a sapling. Maybe they come around. No,
they're
we're
just
coming
bringing to me, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand how Olaf works.
Hang on a minute, we're fighting?
yeah.
What a game. What a situation, Mac, because here we are thinking these teams should be fairly evenly matched based on what we've seen in these first few weeks, but I get to a point really where it was just ARAMs in the mid lane and that was just a little bit too clean.
A little bit too clean, got the prediction correct. Did get a little bit worried for a moment, but look, it's another W for GZ and another W for our predictions. I think a bit of a shake-up. Who was it? It was
Max and
Skimmy going for Kanga. So,
yep.
Oh, we're all over the place. Everyone's copping a
Today
couple of
was
hills.
actually
I have a gift
wild.
for you, Skimmy.
Good day of games. What's that?
Please give me your palm
Okay.
and close your eyes.
Oh, here we go. What have we got? Am I getting trolled?
What's happening here?
Just take it, take it.
Oh, take the L?
Yeah.
Okay, bro, okay. It's just a dummy like that. Okay.
Here's your L key.
I'm expecting like a rapper or like, you've like cut out some paper saying L.
Yeah.
Okay. It happens.
It happens.
You'll
It
never
certainly
know
does.
until you watch the VOD.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a
big-
surprise. That
Big
they
old
predicted
Tronny
straight away.
having a damn good game. We're chilling in Twitch chat, and everyone was very excited for him to play like strong side for once. It feels like he hasn't had too much of a chance to show what he's made of this split so far, but look, he's done it in this game, hasn't he?
Yep, Olaf just seems like the pick into Sejuani. It has a 100% win rate after Chippy's also won on it as well. But I just like the overall direction that GZ went with. It was a very easy to execute comp. You have the Karma, you have the Maokai, obviously playing towards that Olaf, and it got done in the early game and putting Tron on a 2-0 score. And of course they did a bit of a misplay in the 2v2, but it wasn't enough to shut down Tron in these team fights, because realistically you don't have any consistent damage until Fido gets his 3 items later on into the game to deal with Tron. And even if he does, he just goes immune and he just starts running at you. So Fido has to either position extremely well, or this Olaf is just not going to die. And also we see the Nautilus coming out once again, but you can't just be picking this champion when Heimerdinger is up. That's the whole reason why Heimerdinger was introduced into the meta. It was to avoid these hook opportunities from the side of an engaged support, and of course that just resulted in all the early dragons going towards GZ.
And look, in terms of the bans, Fido did get an opportunity to play something that he wanted. I went with the Azir again, understandable, but look, AP in jungle, even though a bit more util, and AP in mid, seems to still be having its issues. For GZ, look towards that top side, even though Blue was putting a bit of a school up towards that top lane at points, you know, making you very happy, Rusty,
Yeah,
with the
good.
mechanics we got to see from him. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough.
We're ignoring the fact that Gooby's Maokai did the second most damage on that team, I believe. Tron did 18k and Maokai did 15k. So Maokai's just so sleeper broken. Stop abusing the meta, Jason. I've had enough of you. Go back to your shaker.
That's why I ban it every
Go
game.
back to
your
your
shaker.
shaker. I don't know if we want that.
It could be interesting, could be a bit of fun.
It could be.
Huh?
And the
Maybe-
BO5s, BO3s maybe. Cheeky little cheese win. Sneak
Hey.
it in.
Yeah, throw it in.
Why not?
Bit of a mix-up.
Absolutely.
Why not, huh?
Cheeky.
Do you want a reason? It's not good.
It beat me. I got destroyed by it the other day, so it must be good.
Ah, that's
Oh,
actually,
oh,
that
yeah.
checks out.
Yeah, I
actually,
like that photo.
The photo.
That scoreline. Tantrum mech.
Oh, actually, no, I did tweet
Yeah,
that.
you
didn't I?
posted a screenshot.
Yeah, I got domed. Look, yeah, it was a rough game. Don't really want to think about it. Either way, that is going to be GZ jumping up the leaderboard. This was the battle for direct 6th place, 5th place.
Yeah, tied with Mammoth now.
So they were tied 6th.
Yeah,
Now
pieces
it's
below them both.
6th, 7th. He's still tied 7th, not 8th,
Yeah,
because they got a win.
yeah.
And there's a chance that they can get another win tomorrow and not end last on the leaderboard, which could shake things up a bit once we do get towards that group stage.
death. Group of death.
Group of death. Group of...
Oh,
I wanted to leave.
I
you
didn't
out of
realize
it.
we just put the stream on mute for a second.
Happens.
Synergy on this couch today is just completely off. I just need to put that out there. But look, at the same time, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. You know, it's not time for the Dare MVP just yet, but are we looking at a little bit of Tron, or is that bot lane finally starting to pop?
Ground Zero's bot lane.
Mhm.
We're collectively like 0,
Sorry,
1,
what?
and 21.
1-1-20? Is that the
Yeah.
scoreline that they ended on? Bot lane?
yeah.
2 supports in the bot lane?
Yeah, both playing
I
carry
didn't know there was
champions.
a Caitlyn support in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So probably not.
Facilitators.
Probably not them. Yeah, probably Tron.
Okay.
Probably Tron.
What about mid lane? How'd that go?
Emphas played Karma. So he was a contributor to the 0020 bot lane. This game was literally Gooby and Tron.
Yes.
And then just the supports running
Well,
around with him.
Guess what? We got one of those two players ready to have a quick old chin wag. We got big old Tron on the line. Tron, how you feeling after that win? You feel good? You feel pumped? You feel excited? Feel full of bloody Olaf?
Yeah, it feels really good to actually get a win and just show what we're made of and that we can actually bring something.
Congratulations on the win, and this Olaf pick was just so impressive. Obviously one of your pocket picks, but what were your thoughts on laning against, I believe, the Yone for blue, because we did see some misplay coming out of you guys in the early game.
It's a bit of a skill matchup, but it's really punishing for Yon if he makes a mistake, and the second that happens, the lane becomes instantly Olaf favored.
So I had a little birdie, a little cat, I had Kitty tell me that you guys are all friends. There's, like, your whole friend group was pretty much playing today. Did that change the dynamic of what was going on? Was there like that sense of satisfaction every time you took one of your boys down?
It makes you really want to win way more.
They probably just like they will get that win and they'll just stub at you for the rest of the year over this one win. And I can already see the smirk coming out of Tron. Definitely going onto Discord after this one. But I'm looking at a collection in the back. It's very, very cute. How many little ones do you have over there?
What are they?
I will not comment on this. I just simply won't.
What? I'll count. 1, 2, 3. Now, but congratulations on the win on that Olaf. Obviously, Gooby did very well as well. What really switched out for you guys for such a clean execution of a game?
I don't know. We weren't really happy with how past games have gone, so we decided, all right, we're just gonna send it. We believe in these picks. We know what we want to do surrounding them, and we just sent it, and we made it work.
I've had a little count as you've been talking, and I know one does not simply comment on their backgrounds, but you got 20 of those things up on that shelf, and we'll get it out of you eventually. But look, Tron, we'll let you go and enjoy that W. Enjoy talking shit to your friends, and look, have a good night. It's been a late one.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
What are they? Couldn't see.
I think they were those pop things. Those big-headed
Yeah.
things. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Little things.
Right.
Yep.
Sick.
Big eyes.
Yeah, huge eyes.
Yep, big eyes.
Nice.
Kitty's just dying in the corner quietly.
Mhm.
These boomers talking about stuff.
No. It's just me when I'm talking to someone that's not interested in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Sick.
Awesome.
Just two people just saying awesome.
And then they don't get the hint and they just keep like, yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's crazy.
Dying of
wow. True, man.
Love that for you, King.
Oh, that's great, bro.
I love just watching the couch devolve into chaos. But I almost love it as much as I love having a look at the Dare MVP. If it's not Tron or Gooby, I'm going to be confused, but let's see who we got for the Dare MVP. And it was the big man up top, Tron. Woo! He doesn't comment on much, but when he does, he's bloody pulling up poses
The
like
absolute
that.
Rizzler.
92%
Ronnie.
KP. He was everywhere. He was there, and he was up top, wasn't he?
We need to make a nickname for Tron and Gooby. How about Truby? Thoughts, opinions, or
Are they
Gron?
Gron.
I like Gron. I like Gron.
Gron.
Gron's coming for ya.
Gron smash.
Gron smash. Yes, bro.
I'm live with that.
We need to get some Photoshop wizard to
Gron
make it
gang.
happen.
Gron gang.
Gron gang. Hashtag Gron gang.
Gron gang,
Yes.
easy for Jeezy,
What have I
topside
sung?
peasy,
We've given Jeezy some merch.
getting real sleazy.
Up the Grons.
The Grons.
Don't get sleazy. But look, let's get into the play of the day. There was a lot. There was a lot of fun. There was a lot of action, but there can only be one play.
The teleport?
Which one did you
just
like,
figured you'd
Rusty?
like that one.
I did like it.
Yeah, the Camille TP. What else do we have?
Oh, I can't stop thinking about how Zarna's played that one team fight on the Na, where he even stopped the wave from going into that mid lane
Yeah.
and stopping the game from
That
ending.
was good.
Yeah, that fight at the river.
The 4v5 win by Pensonet is what I would say.
Well,
Yeah.
pretty sure it's that one. Let's have a look to see if that's the exact one.
No.
It's not. It's Peace and Chiefs.
That's the final fight, yeah?
And it is the final fight that got the big dub. Peace were like, you know what? We're going to be taking this.
Ray's just got half his health gone from the Camille Q. Why would you even play ADC at this point? It's just not fair. But Ray's gets one shot instantly into this team fight, and Wager is just collecting kill after kill.
That's
It's
so
impossible.
funny to me, Kitty, that's like the common sentiment of playing AD against Camille. Like, why even be AD? But we currently have ADs playing support.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone's doing it. But also, I agree with you. Why? But, like, because this happens.
Well, crazy scenes. This, of course, was the end of the game. But up until this point, Peace just kept on thanking their lucky stars, their lucky bloody lunar signs, lucky bloody everything at this point. Because it was a very empty mind as to what was going to go down with Peace. Of course, they had the skill. We know they were coming from overseas. But we didn't know how they were going to match up with some more domesticated talent. And look, it went pretty bloody well for him, didn't it? Let's have a look at the leaderboard before we close the show, of course, to see all these movements, all these shifting sands and positions all across
Peace can
And
get to 5th.
wow, Chiefs and Bliss tied for 3rd, huh?
We won't be getting a split with a perfect streak for Split 1 2023. So
No.
F in the chat. We won't be getting a repeat of last year.
Mhm.
Maybe good or maybe bad. I don't know.
So
It's-
Peace play Dials tomorrow. If Peace win and Pentanet just win, whoever they're playing against, they're just outright first now because of the Chiefs losing to Peace today. But also, I don't think Peace can get 5th because of head-to-head. They've been losing to every team, and all they've got left is the top teams to verse.
True.
So they probably, if they tie with these teams that they've like forfeit lost to, they're not winning.
Well,
So they're probably going to be 7th.
thankfully, we've got a big foldy sheet to look at after this and figure all that out.
Oh yeah, we will be.
You know, old Aisline's done behind the scenes to get us sorted for the final.
He's done it.
Oh, he's going to get murdered.
No,
We need to wrap this
No,
up so
don't
Mac
come
can
over
run.
it. Leave me alone. Sorry. Either way, look, we got the schedule to have a look at to see the final games of this round robin. 6 p.m.
I'm in danger.
We got Direwolves and Peace going toe-to-toe, and that could go any bloody way. Bliss and Pentanet also could go both ways. PGG looking pretty good, but at the same time, Bliss, you never know what you're going to get with this bloody team of fun. 8 p.m, Mammoth and GZ, yet another one that could go either way to split up that 5th position. 9 p.m, the Chiefs and Kanga. You know, probably going to be Chiefs favoured, but Kanga, we know what they could be capable of. It's just yet to see them hit their stride, and we might have to wait till the groups before that happens. But yeah, Kitty, game of the day, which one are you looking at?
Direwolves versus Peace. Do not let the scoreline deceive you. Although Peace is 1 and 5, unfortunately 5 of them were forfeit matches. But that one win that they have just showed us such promising things, especially from the top side, which they are PCS players. They're new to the league and no one knows anything about them. But now we're starting to know their names. Wager on this Camille, it's starting to become very concerning.
I just know that even if I tried as hard as possible, my pronunciation of their names, unfortunately, is not going to be on par. So I'm going to give them nicknames, and we're going to figure that one out as the show goes on, as we get to see a little bit more of these teams. But look, Peace, they're here, and they are coming in with a statement, going into the final round of the groups. Who knows what's going to go down? But that is it for this beautiful Monday evening of League of Legends here on the LCO. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow for the final round of the group stage. See you then.
And looking to siege once again. Darjung wants none of that. That's a disengage all the way there from Daystar. Benvi is the casualty, the price they have to pay for it. They get knocked up. Let's bounce. Let's fight. And let's find success if you're blessed right now. It's coming the Herald. They're going to try and farm a few more kills, get a few more turrets, and get a big ace.
Dongy with the Sedge ult.
Dongy caught out of position right now. Forced the flash away. Beautiful timing of it, has to be said. In we jump. There's the Magnet Storm. There's the Peck. There's Praetor flashing away. Now stuck on Chaz's wall. He's body blocked in by his teammate. That's first blood. Violet gets it over his old counterpart. And now, if they go, this one's going to go right down to the wire.
That it's in.
It's been taken at 100 HP by the Victor of all people. Kisei absorbs the world in that zone. He's now fully upgraded. Rift walks away. In goes Hextech Ultimatum. Wager finds his target. Ray still alive, but gets taken out there by Che, and Kisei survives.
Wager's crazy.
Opts a wild growth, but this Camille can do no wrong. Waiting for hook shot, and Kit, there's the stun onto Bulldog. You're burning a support, it's not who you want. Look at the shielding. So tanky, the Radiant
on the
Virtue
flank with
hitting
the
up
blue.
absolute flank. Blue jumps in, but gonna burn on down. Dante finds his first kill of the game. Now into action goes the Olaf. There's the axe, there's Chop, and he gets the lumberjack. He can do no wrong. It's not going to be a pentakill, but that is a very decisive ace.
Big Tronny with